Hey everybody, welcome to another round of Canje Plays, and today we're going to be getting into Above and Below by Ryan Lockett. This is a game I have never played, but well, I've played it to learn it, but prior to that, I've never played it before, and well enough, I'm gonna be doing the audio of kind of the exploration parts of it using Foreteller because Foreteller now has above and below. They'll be getting near and far as well soon, and I don't know if they're going to be doing the third one, but most likely they will because so far they've done the other two games. I forgot what the third game is, but I've never played this. I've never played this game prior to learning to play this game. Let's just say that. And it is a game for, well, when we get in, you'll see the stats on it when we go over to BGG. But when I got into playing it, when I am learning it, it's a fun game, and it's a fun game to play in group because it's kind of a what do they call that? Where you have to resource management. It's a resource management game where your people are the resources, and you build that stuff up to go with it. But it's been a lot of fun. I'm getting back into the swing of things only because I've been on vacation. Now I'm back, and I'm super excited to play. Okay, we're going to be playing a solo variant, and this solo variant was created by Scott McCannell, and you can find his solo variant on BGG site where you can download it. I think it's 2.0 right now, which that was the last one I did before I left last week that I grabbed. It has an AI, kind of like an automatic AI that plays against you, so it's you versus the AI. And if you want to ratchet up the difficulty, you can make it you versus 2 AI, which is pretty interesting. So I'm only going to be playing against one, so it's me going to be versus another AI. I'm going to kind of go through the setup of the game, and then we'll play it and have a good time. Okay, before we get started, I want to say thank you to my Patreons. I appreciate you so much. You are awesome, and thank you. And thank you to my YouTube subscribers. I appreciate you as well. We had the 500 sub stream before I left, and so we're pushing towards the next milestone. So that'll be a lot of fun, and we'll have some good times with it. Okay, let's get some information from BGG. All right, so above and below, it says thematic about 88, and you'll see why. I think it has, because of the explore option where you have story that goes. Oh, Cybermage, thank you so much. Thank you for becoming a Patreon. I appreciate it. So, thank you so much, Cybermage. Welcome, welcome, and thank you for becoming a Patreon. Be sure to join the Discord. Hop in there and just, say hello. So, in Above and Below, the thematic because of the Explorer is pretty. I think it's pretty awesome. I think it's you really get to see what happens as the story unfolds, and I'll talk about that more when we open up the book to say why you're doing what you're doing. Funny timing. I know, right? Thank you so much. So thematic 88, which is still really good considered Board Game Geek's ridiculous number of board games that they have in there that they're using their metrics to get that information from. Overall 270, which means a lot of people like this game. It's a 7.4 because the game is not it's not a dungeon crawler, it's not a deep dive. There's strategy to it, but it's a resource management, right? Think some aspects of Terraforming Mars, some aspects of Splendor. And you'll see what I mean when I set it up if you've played either one of those games. So 14,000 people rated it and said it's a 7.4. This game came out in 2015. It says 2 to 4 player, best played 3. I agree with that. It is best played 3 player. 4 player kind of drags it a little bit longer. I played it 4 player, I played it 2 player, and then I played it solo to see what it's like. So best played 3 player, it's 90 minutes straight up because there are 7 rounds and the game is done. There's no variance to it, but we're gonna test that 90 minutes to see if that takes that long. Don't count setup when I'm teaching you how to set up and play it too. Community age 13 plus, the community says 10. A 10-year-old can play this game and love it and understand it completely. I think the community is spot on. And the weight is about a 2.52. It's not a complex game. It's just strategy. You got to think about what you want to do because there's multiple ways to win. Designed by Ryan Lockett. Ryan Lockett did the art, which is awesome, and published by Red Raven Games. And audio narration by Foreteller. If you have not messed with Foreteller, if you don't know what Foreteller is, you need to go to Foreteller's site because basically they do the audio narrations or the vocals with background ambiance for games such as Gloomhaven, Isofarian Guard, which is going to be coming out, Above and Below, so many other games that they're doing, and they're just going to be adding and adding and adding to the library. The application itself is free, but you pay for the narrations, and they're at a pretty decent price. Jaws of the Lion, I think, is like $10, so it's not too bad. But you get the full narrations of Jaws of the Lion. That's the city events. That's the story events, all that stuff that happens. So I am not being compensated in any way by Foreteller. I just completely believe in their product. I think that they are creating something fantastic that has been missing, in my opinion. I know others will say, no, it's not been missing. I prefer to read it. Okay, cool. That's you. But for me, I really enjoy it. And every single time there's a game I play that has Foreteller audio, I play it with Foreteller audio. So I think it's if you want to go back and look at my Jaws of the Lion playthroughs that I did that with Foreteller. Madara is on Foreteller, but Foreteller didn't do that audio. Succubus Publishing did. Foreteller's just hosting it. So if you look at my Madara playthroughs, that's Foreteller hosting Succubus Publishing's narration. So ought to be cool. Okay, enough of that. Ooh, here we go. Let's get down to the table. Okay, so this is Above and Below. And just to kind of get a little bit of thematic on here, I'll just hold this up so this can zoom in. So it says, your last village was ransacked by barbarians. You barely had time to pick up the baby and your favorite fishing pole before they started burning and pillaging. You ran from that place in the dark of night and wandered over cruel desert, braving frozen peaks and crossing a rough sea filled with sharks. Then you found it, the perfect place to make your new home. But as soon as you had this first hut built, you discovered a vast network of caverns underground, brimming with shiny treasures, rare resources, and endless adventures. Now you're organizing expeditions and building your village above and below. Okay? So I will keep this because this has some references for what cards mean, just in case for me to go back over. My memory, I don't... When I learn a game, I don't memorize every single aspect of it, so it'll go through. We're going to be using Scott McCannell's solo playthrough. Once again, you could download this online, and you see all these, you're like, oh my gosh. This just kind of outlines what happens per round for the AI to do its work. But to make things easier on you so you're not doing that, you've got this reference sheet, which is what I'm going to be using, right? The player aid. So it'll determine, this says how many turns the AI takes per turnaround all the way to 7. So, and then what they can do. So they can't explore or harvest in the first round, but then they start doing it in the second. And I'll explain that more as we play. That's kind of going to be on the side here, which I'll now put over. And then I'll let you know what's happening. Okay, so these right here that you see up here are our starting villagers. You get to pick one builder, one person who can train, and then someone who can neither do build or train but can do other things. And we'll talk about what those other things are. So you get to pick these from whatever's there, right? For the AI, we need to determine if they're going to be the first player or the second player. So we're going to roll a d6. And if I roll, let's see, if I roll a 1, 2, 3, they're going to be the first player. If I roll a 4, 5, 6, they're going to be the second player. So I rolled a 4. They're going to be player number 2, which means I'm going to be the first player. So I get the first player card for the beginning of this round. Okay, so I'm player number 1. So since I'm player number 1, I'm going to select one, then they're going to select one, then I'm going to select one, then they're going to select one. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you select. They are all the same. The only difference is that the pictures are different. Nothing about them vary. It's just choice of what you want your characters to look like. For me, because, you know, I got the low cut going, I'm going to go ahead and grab your boy here. And I'll say that they have those to select, so I'm just going to roll a d4. Just for variance, they're going to get 3, so they're going to grab this guy. Then my turn, so these 2 are gone. I can't select these 2. They go back to the ball. Then we're going to look at these, and I'm going to grab her. And they are going to grab, so it'd be 1, 2 person. These 2 are gone. Then on these, I'm going to grab her. They're going to grab 3, this one. And then these 2 go back to the ball. Simple, easy, and done, right? So we got that all set up. These are going to be my starting villagers. Now, on this board that I have here, I'll explain these once I do this full setup up here. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to explain what all this stuff means. Okay, so first we start with the above ground build. And you know it's the above ground build because there's a picture of a sky, and then there's this thing with the bricks and the, I forgot what that thing is called, the cement layer thingy. That's a technical term for it. So what you do with these is you shuffle these up. And after you shuffle these up, you just lay out 4. This is the market that I'm building. Okay, so this is the above ground market. So I put these out here, and I put out 1, 2. Hey, Steven, what's going on? Pull up a chair. 3, 4. So I put out 4. Now, let's talk about these cards for a second. I'm going to take a pause. So on these cards, this is what they look like. Their purchase cost is this up here. So I have to pay 4 gold to be able to trowel. I don't know what that means. So I have to pay 4 gold to purchase this, and then these become things that I can harvest. And we'll talk about these here. You see these 2 dots? That means how many fruit, because that's a fruit symbol. I know it looks like a half pear, but it's just called fruit. 2 fruit go on here. They come in my area, and then I can harvest these to get them. Okay? Then we go to the next build that we're going to build. This is the below deck, the cavern deck. And we shuffle these up, And then we lay out 4 of these. So this is the below build cavern. Cavern, whatever. You know what I'm saying. Okay, so we put these out here. Now these have the same but different symbols on them, right? So here on this one, it costs 4 to build this. I can harvest 2 fish from here total. And then this says that as soon as I purchase this card, I get a free medicine. And we'll talk about what that means as well. So this is the market that's going to get every single time we buy a card, it automatically refreshes, right? Here's the trick. You're like, oh, this looks cool. Let's buy this. You can only buy outposts. These are called outposts. You can only place outposts on explored cavern. So that comes to this deck over here. So this is the explored cavern. And what you want to do, and this is where the foreteller stuff comes in. This is the exploration, and this is where the game gets really, really cool. And I like what they did here with it. So basically what you would do is say that you're going to explore, and when you do, you roll a die to see what situation you run into. You go to foreteller or the book if you don't like foreteller, completely up to you. I don't know why you wouldn't. Oh, trowel is the tool you use to smooth cement. Thank you, Steven. Thank you. Trowel, the trowel. So it will give you options to do, say, you either do this or this, and then you have to roll to get exploration, which think of exploration as success. How much ever you get, if you succeed, you properly explore, you get the reward that's there, and then this goes into your area as an explored cavern. From that point on, you can buy one of these to go on one of those, right? So you can only build outposts on explored cavern spaces, which means the more exploring you do, the more outposts you can build. If you explore once, you can only build 1 outpost, and you'll see as we play. But that kind of links that together. These are our people that we can train. I call it hiring them, but it's called training them. And what you do is you just give these a nice little shuffle. Trowel. I don't know these terms. But basically, these are people that you can train. So you build the market for them as well. Oh, a lot of them happen to be builders. So if you need to get more builders or hiring people or just regular people, it's all mixed in there. And you just saw me do a shuffle to put them up there. These are their costs. So if you're going to train them, it's going to cost 2 gold, 3 gold, 3 gold, 4 gold, and 5 gold. So, and when you train someone, it doesn't auto refill. They don't refill until the next round, right? Okay, let's keep on. Let's move down. This is the turn order track. So that means they're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rounds, and then the game's over. This right here is this barrel of wine that's here is used if you labor, and we'll talk about what laboring is, but the first person to labor gets this, and it doesn't get refilled until the next round. This is the track of reputation. So you'll move down, and based on what you get, you will get a score, and then you'll get some other stuff. So this is the reputation track that you can move. You can actually move backwards and lose rep and go to like -2, and this will play towards the end of your score. These numbers here on the side are for end of game scoring. So blah, blah, blah. Don't think about that. Okay, let's keep moving to the side. This right here is all of these cards are special cards. They're super expensive, but they give you massive rewards. So like here, you'll get 2 victory points or villager victory points. I'll just call them victory points. So you can say I got it wrong. I don't care. The 2 victory points at the end of the game, and then you'll get 2 victory points per villager that you have. Do you see how they really offer you a lot of money? Look at this one. This one will give you 12 victory points plus 2 per paper and jewels that you find. So what you do with this is you just kind of lay all of these out. Mm-hmm. 11 and 12. So you just lay all those out. Those are things that stay out from the beginning. When you can afford them, you buy them. That's just how that works. These are key cards. And you'll notice that I say key cards. because there's a key symbol on them. Look at that. So what you do is you shuffle these up, and then you just take the top 4, and that's what you put out, and they treat just like those star cards, those specialty cards. So those you can buy at any time, right? Think of those as milestones. If you ever play Terraforming Mars, just think of them as milestones. You can purchase them at any time if you can afford them. And they don't get refilled. Once they're bought, they're gone for good. Okay. So then you draw 4, 3, 4. And these are the same thing. The rest go back to the box because that's replayability, right? Okay. So we've got all this set up, and this is kind of like the initial thing of what we need to learn to play. We start with 7 gold. Usually everybody will start with 7 gold, but the AI doesn't. They don't need no gold. They just take stuff. They just basically they're taking things away from us and building up a score to see if they can beat us. So they don't need gold, but I do. The first player marker, which has the 1 on it, and everybody starts with this basic hut, which has, if you notice the symbols on it, it's 3 beds. Okay, so let's talk about bed. If you hire a villager, and there are 3 spaces on this board. There is the active space, which you see here, and they're separated by these tree lines. There's the active space, the exhausted space, and the injured space. So whenever I use a villager to do something, this is the resource management, where my resources are villagers. If I use a villager to do something, they become exhausted, right? Now, and when they're all exhausted and the round ends, and then we go to the next round, you can only unexhaust the number of villagers per beds that you have. So if I only had 2 beds, I can only unexhaust 2 villagers. If I have 3 beds and 4 villagers, then I can only unexhaust 3 villagers. Does that make sense? So it's like saying this. The round ended, I have this villager, but I only have 3 beds. I can only unexhaust 3 of them because I only have 3 beds. So 1, 2, and 3, and this one would stay exhausted. Okay? The only way to unexhaust this one when you don't have enough beds is this wine jug. That wine jug, for some strange reason, has a healing elixir. If you get drunk, you're able to work another day. So if I have one of those and I spend it at the beginning of the round, I can unexhaust 1 villager per wine jug. Okay? Here's what you can do on your turn. So this is the meat of it. That's kind of what's given, but here's what you can do on your turn. You can, and it's all labeled across here at the top that we're going to go from left to right. You can explore. Exploring takes at least 2 villagers to go exploring. You can't go it alone because you're going to get lost and you're going to die. So 2 villagers must be used to explore. When you explore, you take one of these cavern cards, you roll a d6 to find out what you find when you explore, and then you solve that problem. And when we explore, I'll go more into detail about that piece. You can harvest. So remember when I was talking about that you can get fish or fruit? When you have these cards in your village, you can use 1 villager to harvest to take 1 off of there, and that comes to you. And I'll tell you what you can do with that in a second. You can build with the bricks and trowel. Thank you, Stephen. You can build, which means building. If you have someone with the hammer icon, only those people can build. So you can build if any above ground that you can afford, or if you already have an explored cavern, any below ground that you can explore. You can train. Only people with the feather can train. And when you train, if you have the money, you can hire new people and they automatically become exhausted. Or you can labor. If you're the first one to labor, you get the wine cask. If you're not and you get 1 gold. If you're not the first to labor, you just get 1 gold. You don't get a wine cask. Okay? This symbol here is for the market. We won't be using this during this gameplay, but basically if you're playing more than 1 solo, you can put 1 here. Let's say you have 2 fish, you only want to keep 1 and you want to sell another to somebody else, some other player. You can take that and put it in the market, and then some other player who needs the fish, you can say, I'll sell you that for at least 3. So you can say, I'll sell you that for 8 gold. And if they say yes, then there you go. And you can add as much as you want to the market. So you can do that. There are free actions that you have, right? Now, adding to the market is a free action, which means it doesn't cost you a villagers to do it. Also, down here at the bottom is the advancement track. How do we get more money per round, or how does money work per round? At the bottom, every villager starts off each round, they'll get 4 gold. If you any unique item, so if I have 2 fish, I can't do fish. I can stack it here, but that doesn't mean I'm going to get more money. That just means that just will help your end game score. So if you put a unique resource here, then instead of 4 gold, you'll get 5 gold. If you put another unique one, instead of 4 gold, you'll get 6 gold at the beginning of each round, and building up and up and up and up and up. So it helps you to harvest it to get more money, if that makes sense. It'll make more sense as you see it played, but just letting you know how that goes. Okay. That was a lot of explaining, but that is basically the gist of Above and Below. But let's get into some gameplay so you can see how it works. Now, I'm the first player, this is the second player, and play rotates between. I'm not always going to be the first player. So what's the first thing I want to do? The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to labor. So what that means is I take a villager, I exhaust that villager, and I labor, which means I'm the first person to labor. I get the lion skin, and I get 1 gold. And that's my turn. You only can do one thing per turn, but the game is played over a series of rounds, and there's multiple turns in a round. So that ends my turn. So now it's the AI's turn. So on the AI's turn, I'm going to roll a d8 according to these rule sheets here. So I'm going to grab my d8 and I'm going to roll it. And it's an 8. If I look on this paper that's here, it says that they will labor as well. So I'll put 1 down for labor. They are only going to take 3 actions this round. So they are going to labor, which means they're going to get 1 gold. But gold doesn't mean anything. But I'll give them... Nah, yeah, gold doesn't mean anything to them. But they're going to labor, which means they're going to get a gold. Just to make sure. Building, hiring, labor. Each AI bot will use the labor action once on the first turn. Yep. On subsequent turns, bot will only take labor actions additional times if they have already taken the build and hire actions. So that was their turn to labor. So they labored once. That ends their turn. So then it goes back to my turn. So you see how the turns go? My turn, I will... build for 5 gold. I will use my builder, and I will buy this card. And this card says, first time it seems so simple, but yeah, there is a lot to it. There is a lot to it. For 5 gold, at the end of the round, I will get 1 extra gold, and I will get 1 victory point per mushroom resource that I have. And here's the really cool thing about this game. So you see this card? You put them in line here, but watch this. They line up. Every card lines up to make 1 big picture that flows, which is pretty cool. So that is my action. So I spent 5 gold, I built. I automatically refill the pool. And then we move to its turn. So it's a 6. On a 6, you will hire. When they hire, they look at the first 3 here, because I've read the rules. They look at the first 3, and they hire the most the best choice for the first 3. The best choice, this builder has 1 lantern, 2 lantern. This builder has 2, 3. This builder has 1, 2. The lanterns are very important when you explore, so they're gonna take this person away. Gone. I do not refill that trap. That makes me sad because that was my next purchase. That was my next purchase. Ugh, that hurts. Okay. So then back to my turn. What am I gonna do? That messed my strategy right up. Well, let me show you how this works now so you can see it. Nah, no, I can't because I need to get something. I need to get something next round. So I can't do this. I can't use the Casu just yet because it'll kill my strategy. So what I'll do... I'm going to labor again. So this character is going to labor. I will get 1 gold because you ruined my plan. And so that ends my turn. And then their final turn... Oh, the only thing they can do, sorry, is build. The only thing they can do is build. And when they build, what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll a d6. And it'll say which one they're going to... It'll determine what they'll take. So I rolled a 5. On a 5, the bot selects a building with a bed that costs 5 coins. If such building is not available, the bot will simply buy a random key building. Okay, so a building with beds costs 5 coins. There's not one up here. So then we come over here to the keys, and it's going to select a random key building. Well, there are 4 of them, so I'm going to roll a d4 to see which one they take away from me. 2. So they're going to take this one, which also kills my overall game plan. So they take that card, it's gone. And that ends round 1. Round 1's over. How it's over? They've done 3 turns. I've done all I could do. I don't have anybody else to spend, so I'm done. So what happens at this point? Well, we do cleanup. First things first. This is full. This is good. We slide everyone over 1, and then put a new person to refresh. We put a new cast out. We increase the round track, and then we pay people some money. So for me, I get 4 gold. Oh, sorry. At the end of the round, because of this, I would have gotten a gold. I forgot to do that. But then I get 4 gold, so I'm going to just give 1 to just make it 5. And then, because of this tells me I get 4 gold because I don't have anything else built out here. Then we unexhaust. How many beds do I have? I have 3, so 3 people become unexhausted. And then we start round 2. So we're on round 2. Lets us know. This first player card passes to the AI, and the AI goes first. So what's the AI gonna do? Well, let's see. 5. The AI is going to build. On round 2, the AI selects a building with a bed that costs 5. If one is not available, roll a d6. So we're going to roll a d6. 3. The AI bot selects a random key building unless they have all been built, in which case proceeds as if you had rolled a 4 to 6. So they're buying another random key building. So we're going to roll this. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they take this one away from me. They are killing me. Okay. So then it's my turn. I am going to spend all 9 plus my builder to build this, which 2 beds. So now I can house 5 people. And I had to exhaust my builder to do it, so I'm done. The AI's turn, because I seem to be rolling high today. So they built. They take 4 turns this round. So they built for the first. Roll a 6. They're going to hire. Oh, they are killing me. So they hire the most expensive person for the job. Leave me with crumbs. Then my turn. So they've taken... That's their second turn. So my turn... I can't explore with these 2 people. It's gonna be terrible. But I need to, because I need underground caverns, but I need money. So I'm going to let me labor one more time. I promise you I'll go exploring next round. So I'll labor one more time, so I'm the first to labor. So I get that. And get gold. Then their turn. 3. They are going to harvest. Well, what if you got nothing to harvest? So this is why I have this sheet out, so you can tell us. On turns 2 to 5, each AI bot will use the harvest action at most once per turn. On each AI bot will use the harvest action unlimited amount of time. So they can't harvest, they don't have anything to harvest. Because they don't have a card that allows them to harvest, so nope. And it doesn't, and that looks like something that just doesn't get done for harvest. So, okay, so they harvested, couldn't harvest, so that's the end of that. I lucked out there. For my last action, I am going to labor one more time. And then for their last action, because I can only do 3, but they get 4. 5. They will build. Oh, I forgot to replace this. Sorry. So they're going to look for a place with a bed. If they can't find one, they're going to steal another key card. Awesome. Let's see. Turn 2. Yep. Otherwise, I got to roll a d6 and see what they do. I rolled a 5. It says roll another d6. If the result is 6, refresh the building. Whether the buildings are refreshed or not, the AD bot will select a random building unless refreshing reveal the building with a bed that costs 5 coins, in which part it will say this. So if I roll a 6, I rolled a 2. So nothing happens. You can't buy anything. Whether the buildings are refreshed or not. Whether the buildings are refreshed or not, the AI bot will select a random building unless refreshing reveal the building with a bed. So it's taking a random building. So it's taking 1 of 4. It took 4, so it's taking this one. And now it can harvest. Cool, 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 cool. So there are 2 apples of fruit. There are 2 fruit on that building. So if they're going to harvest, they get to harvest that fruit. So there are 2 fruit on that building that they can harvest. Okay, that's the end of their turn. I'm done. Let's refresh. Hey, look, a building with a bed. So then let's do cleanup. Oh my goodness. I really want that card. I'm going to get 4. I have enough to get him. First player passes to me. We add a cast back. We move the track down. And we're ready to go again. Hey, Cynthia, how's it going? Pull up a chair, pull up a chair. All right, so since it's my, and then we refresh. Since it's my turn to go first, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to train, spending 5 to get Frogman. Frogman is a builder. Frogman has some interesting stuff that we're going to talk about when I go exploring this round. Oh, Frogman comes in exhausted. Whenever you hire someone, they come in exhausted. Okay. Then it's the AI's turn. This time they're going to take round 3. They're going to take 4 turns. So let me get just to mark their turns. So this is turn 1 for them. Let me get a different die. So this is turn 1. I'm going to do an 8, which is labor. They're going to labor. They'll get this, and they'll get a coin. Okay. Then it is my turn. Ugh. Exploring with them is going to be devastating. Oh, and I was supposed to get a coin at the end of the round. I completely forgot about that. If I do any of that, I'm going to get really hurt. So, and they got the card I needed for exploring too. It's unfortunate. I can't hire anybody because that was my only feather person. Laboring is just going to get me a coin, which is no biggie. Although I could buy that with it, so I'm going to labor. Hopefully he won't take that card from me. So I'm going to labor to get 3. Then I have 1 turn left, so his second turn. I'm a little confused to my ultimate. My ultimate goal, Cyber Mage, is it's a score chase. My ultimate goal of this game is to get the highest score. I'm just getting unfortunate rolls right now, but that's the ultimate goal of the game. Rolled a 2, so he is going to explore. When he explores, he automatically takes this card. So he gets that top card. It just happens. We'll use the explore action at most once per turn, because exploring takes at least 2 villagers. When the AV bot takes the explore action, place a 6-sided die on the appropriate space of the action taker track, with 2 pips spaced up, signifying 2 villagers will be used to take the action. Okay. So 2 villagers were used to take that action. So it was 1, 2 villagers, so he has 2 left, basically. Okay. Villagers, explore. Already did it. Higher. Not to higher. What'd you... You're on round. That was round 2. You explored. Okay, so yeah, because it was 1 higher, then your turn. 2 to labor, then your turn. 3 to build. I'm gonna build with my builder. I'm gonna build this guy. You'll see why. It gives me an extra coin at the end of the round, and I automatically get medicine because people are about to get hurt. So I get a medicine, and medicine basically helps people who get hurt. And then round 3 for you. What are you gonna do? I gotta refresh this. 3. You are going to harvest. So he'll automatically take 1 of these, put it there. And I'll explain all that when we do scoring out. So that's the first unique of the harvest. Then he has 1 more action, which is 4, because I can't do anything else. 5, you will build. So we're going to roll a d6 and see what you do. Because there's not a bed, 5-cost bed up there. We're going to roll a d6. Got a 5. You're going to randomly select an item because refresh didn't happen. I needed a 1 to 3 to... I needed a 6 to refresh. So you're going to randomly get one of those. So you've got money. 2. You get that. Fresh. And there we go. So his turn's done. That's 4 for round. We're on round 3, so 4 for there. We're done. Refresh. Go back round 1 because you're going to go first, and you're going to get to see some exploring on my behalf. I have enough beds, so all 4 unexhaust. Refresh the cast. Push down to round 4. And now, let's get to it. So you're going to go first. On an 8, you're going to labor, killing me. Okay? That is your first round. My turn. Let's take a look at how exploring works. So I'm going to send 2 people out to explore. So when I explore, I take the top card, put it down here. I take these 2 people, put them on here. Now, I roll a d6 to see what happens on this card. I'm going to grab a d6. I rolled a 5. And then in the scenario book, you would go to encounter 20 in that book, which is kind of, you've seen those books before where it's this and it looks like this. So I would go to 20 and see what happens. But we got Foreteller for that. So let's go to Foreteller and let it tell us what to do.
An underground lake, you find a long pier stretching far out over the glassy surface. The planks are gray and withered, and empty baskets are strewn about carelessly. You notice a small house carved into the cave wall nearby, and soon an old woman emerges. She's leaning heavily on a gnarled staff, and a brown cloth is wrapped over her eyes.
If you catch me a fish from my pier, I'd be willing to share. I'm blind, and the task is quite difficult for me,
she says. Do you stop to catch a fish or search around the lakeshore?
Okay, so that's the cool part. Now this is the thing that I really love about this game. So you've got options. So on 20, it says, do you stop and catch a fish, explore 3, or if you get a 5, explore 5, and more stuff happens. Or do you ignore her and search, explore 4, or if you get a 6, explore 6. You get some options, right? So explorers are like successes. So think of them that way. So if I roll at least a 3 explore or get 3 successes, then something good happens. If I roll a 5, something better happens. If I choose to stop and catch a fish for her. If I ignore her and just keep searching around, if I roll a 4, I need 4 successes or 6 successes. This determines you getting more stuff, you finding more things, and this is the real heart of the game, right? Exploring is the heart of the game. Like buying stuff, I know you were like, that's a little bit boring. But no, this is where the heart of it is just he kept taking things from me, slowing me down from getting to this. So I'm going to choose to stop and catch a fish for the lady. And what that means is I need to get either 3 or 5, right? Now let's talk about how you get successes. Let's take a look at these. So on these tokens, you see those lanterns at the bottom? Those lanterns are successes. So if I roll a 1 or higher on this lady, I get 1 success. If I roll a 3 or higher on her, I get 2 successes. On Mr. Frogman, if I roll a 1 or higher, I will get 2 successes. And if I roll a 5 or higher, I get 3 successes. Now, successes, basically, that'll determine how much you can get. If you want to get additional successes, you can overexert your explorers to make it happen. So by doing that, I injure them. If I injure an explorer, I get an additional success. Okay? So what you have to do is you're not going to roll 2 dice, you're only going to roll 1 die per explorer. And remember, it starts with a minimum of 2, so I could take 5 explorers with me if I want. Doesn't matter. But I have 2, so I'm going to roll for her first. So taking a d6, I'm looking for a 3, right? Because remember, it's going to be a 3 or 5. So I want a 3 or higher. And I got a 2. So I got a 2 means I only have 1 success. Then I come over to roll a die for my other explorer, and I want to get a 5. If I get a 1, I complete the task, but I really want that 5. So we'll roll. And I got a 5. Hey. So that means I've got 4 successes so far, but if I get 5, I get more. So I'm actually going to injure her to make it 5 successes. Does that make sense? So now I've gotten 5 successes. It says when I have that, I get 2 fish that come to me, and I get 1 reputation. Sorry, 2 reputation because of that. 2 rep. So I'm down here on the reputation track. When they come back, he is exhausted, she is injured, but I succeeded in this, so therefore this is an explored below cave that I put down here. And now I can build outposts on that cave. As a free action, I'm going to take one of these resources and put it here so that I can get more money next round. Okay? So that ends my turn. So round 2 for you. This is, like I said, this is the heart of the game. Exploring is where the beauty of the game really comes alive. Other than that, it's just market purchase. So round 2 for this one. What are you gonna do to me? 6. You're going to hire. They're all the same, so it doesn't matter. So let's roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're gonna take this person away. Okay. My turn for my second round. We're in round 4, so they're gonna get 5 turns. Jeez. Okay. I'm going to spend this medicine as a free action to heal her. Just put her in exhausted status. I'm gonna free action put another fish on here. And what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I don't have any money. Exploring with these two is ridiculous because, as you can see, 4 for just 1 success and 2 for just 1 success. That's not great. What am I going to do? Not much I can do, is there? So the only thing I can really do with 0 money is labor. Get gold. Okay, round 3 for the AI. The AI is crushing me right now. You're going to hire. How much times can you hire in this round? 2. You can only hire twice in this round. Exploring, building, hiring. Yeah. So you can. This is your last time hiring. You can't hire again. So it doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll take this one. Okay, so they've hired twice, and the AI can only hire 2 times this round. So, my turn. There's nothing I can do for 1 gold. So all I can really do is labor again. Round 4 for you. Does 1, 2, 3. So round 4 for you. You are going to harvest. You'll take it, put it here. And then round 5 for you, because I can't go anymore. I don't have anything else to do. I rolled a 4. You are going to build. So no beds. I'm going to roll a d6. I rolled a 4, so you're going to get a random one of those. Take that one. Then I will refill. Okay. So that is the end of the round. Slide everybody over. Refill. 1, I get the first player marker. We put a new thing out here. Before the end of the round, I get 2 extra coins. And then I get 5 gold because I have a fish here. And then we move the track. So you see the game's going really quick now that I'm kind of picking up the pace. And then we unexhaust because we have beds to do stuff. Okay, now I go first. I'm going to spend... Ooh, what does that mean? I gotta see what that symbol means. I've never seen that one before. Gain a coin when exploring. If a player owns a card with this symbol, he gains 1 coin after completing a successful encounter. Cool. So I'm going to spend 4 gold and build with him to buy this underground card. And this basically seems slightly unbalanced since the AI for solo isn't restricted by money. It can literally, yeah, it can just grab and grab. And that's what the solo variant is. Meeple Marathon did a variant of it that makes it a little bit more thematic. So here we go. So therefore there is, for every single explorer I do, I get a coin, and it gives me 3 victory at the end. Because I have an explored cavern, I can now put this outpost on it. Cool. So, and I'm going exploring next, so I'm going to get some money. Refill this. Alright. So then it is the AI's first turn, because I went first. So what are you going to do? Yeah, it does seem that way. They are just tearing me up, to be honest. So 3. Let's see, what are we on? Round 5? Okay. So 3, you're going to harvest. There's nothing for you to harvest. You just wasted that turn. So they have turn wasters. So then my turn, I'm going to go exploring again with these 2. I'm going to grab the next card. And because I explore, I gain a coin because of my card. So I'm going to take these 2 to explore once more. We're going to roll to see what we're going to run into. A 1. 96. 96, is it? So we're going to find 96. Let's get this up.
In a sandy cave, the sunlight streaming down from cracks in the ceiling, a fishfolk man approaches you. He hands you an old, heavy key.
This key opens a door to an ancient vault of treasure, but I cannot find it. My search has brought me nothing but trouble. Please, take it,
He says. He explains where he searched and lists his theories for where it might be. Do you take up his search for the door, or do you give the key to the next traveler you meet?
So it's either I give the key away and keep exploring, or I search for the door. If I give the key away and keep exploring, I need 3 successes. If I search for the door, I need 4 successes or 7 successes. Well, there's no way I can get 7, because actually I can, right? 5, 6, 7. If I injure them both, I can get 7. If I search for the door, I need 4, which gets scary. I can make 4 if I injure somebody. So I'm going to search for the door. So I'm going to roll for Monsieur Frogman first, and you have to announce who you're rolling for. I got a 3, which gives me 2 successes. Okay, then I'm going to roll for the lady. I got a 1, which gives me just 3. So I'm going to injure her again to make it 4. So we come back, injured. We got 4. This comes down. I get 2 coins and a fish. 2 coins, fish, and I'm going to put that fish right there. Okay. So have I been keeping track of stuff? I built, your turn. So now you're on round 2. I explored, you're on round 2. So on a 6, you're going to hire. They're all the same. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're gonna hire that. Yeah, the theme is good. Like the heart of it is the exploration. You get some really nice stuff. Okay. So you hired somebody. And you can only hire twice this round. So you've already hired once. You have harvested one. That's what you did this round. Okay. So I will see my turn. I'm gonna hire somebody else. Let's spend, yeah, that's all I can do. So I'm gonna spend 2 to hire you. You come exhausted. Okay. Round 3. And if I was, like I said, if it didn't ruin my plans to start, I would have been doing something totally different. You're going to labor. Means you're going to get this cast for me. Then I can't do anything. Round 4. 2. You're going to explore. So you use 2 people to explore. And then round 5. You're going to hire. Party. Yeah, you've only hired one. You can only harvest one. So you're going to hire the only person that's there. And that ends the round. I get 1, 2 coins. My troubles. Slide these all the way over. Get new people. New blood. Pass. Down. Send this back to 1. So we're in round 6. They're going to get 6 turns. These will unexhaust. You will just be exhausted. Because you're injured. To exhaust. And then I'm going to use a cast. Get you back. Yay. Hey. Alright. Then we get our money. I get 5 because of that. And we're good. 13. Okay. First player passes to you. 4. What are you doing? 4 in round 6. You harvest. There's nothing to harvest. Waste your turn. My turn. Let's see, what will I do? I can. Oh wait, I can't use the cast like that. I have to use it at the and I have to use it at the using cast. I don't think I could use it like that. Let me check. Exhaust to ready, injured to exhaust. Let me make sure I do this right. Injured. Because I believe they move from injured. Now, players may move 1 villager from injured to exhausted or from exhausted to ready for each bid. Yes, okay. So 1 player goes here, and then I can spend them. So I did do it right. But only 1 player would move. So if I had 2 players that were injured, I could only move 1 of them to exhausted. So I did it right. Okay, what to do. Well, I gotta explore so I can get more money. And I think that's what I'm gonna do because I want to get this. What I got? I got 13. I can get this one. But to do that, I would need to buy that 9 outposts for it to matter. 11 would get me 1 victory point per cider, mushroom, fruit, or fish. $16 gets me 2 per each outpost. 18 gets me 3 plus 2 per each above ground place. I'm gonna spend 10. No, not. I'm gonna spend 11. My builder. Get this card, which says I get 3 victory points plus 1 per each symbol of that I have. Okay. Round 2 for you. 6. You are going to build harvested, you built. You're gonna build. No 5 costs there. Let's see what happens in round 6 when it goes to that. Let's see. Baby bot selects building or outpost with a bed that costs 6 or less. Yep, so you get this card. Okay. And my turn. I'm going to labor. Now I can do stuff. Okay, your turn. 4. You're gonna harvest. Second time you harvest. Nothing for you to harvest, so haha. My turn. I'm going to spend 3. No, I can't use my builders. My builders need to go exploring. I'm gonna go exploring once again because I need some rep. I'm gonna explore again. Taking these 2. I'm gonna roll a d6. I got a 6. That is 98.
To the ship, climbing up over the side. As soon as you're on your feet, a band of skeletons armed with curved
So I had to stop that one there because it was showing, and let me show you. It shows encounter 117. All right, can you hear me now? I was wondering if it was my, yeah. Sorry about that. Can you hear me now? I don't. OBS just kind of broke. All right, I'm back. Thanks, Heather. Okay, so I saw I hit the wrong thing. I had to do the introduction, and then if I choose that option, that's what happened. So let's see if I can do this right now.
You reach a salty underground bay, the waves lapping softly against a sandy shore. Out on the water, you can see a ship, the windows lit brightly. You consider swimming out to the ship, but as you stand near the water, you notice a bed of clams below the waves. Do you board the ship or dive for the clams? If they had any pearls, you'd be able to sell them.
Fuzzy picture? Is it fuzzy? Cybermage, check the settings to see if you can get it back to 1080p. OBS. OBS. Yeah, Cybermage, check the resolution. It might have dropped it because the stream went wonky, and see if you could bump it back up. Yeah, or try reloading the page like Heather says. That might help. And let me know if that got better. So I'm going to swim to the ship, and it says if you swim to the ship, read encounter 117. But yeah. Awesome, that did it. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Alright, thank you. Yeah, it gets... When YouTube loses connection because OBS screws up, it gets real wonky. So you have to like either refresh the page or change the resolution back up. Okay, so let's go to 117 because we heard some of it already, and let's hear what happened.
To the ship, climbing up over the side. As soon as you're on your feet, a band of skeletons armed with curved swords approaches you. You notice a small boat tied to the side of the ship. You might be able to cut it loose and escape. Do you stand and fight or escape on the boat?
Well, I mean, far be it for me to not stand and fight. Dude. So, so basically, if I escape on the boat, 3 successes. If I fight the skeletons, 4 or 7. I can get 7 if I hurt them both. I can get 7. We've only got one more round left. Let's fight the skeletons and hope a 4 will do. So I'm rolling for her. I rolled a 2, so I only get 1 success. Ugh. And I'm rolling for him. I rolled another 1. 2 1s. So that's 3. And I need 4, so I'm going to injure her to make the 4 successes. I get 2 coins and 1 rep. And I get the pay. That was unfortunate. Okay, so round 4 for you. What are you gonna do to me? 7. You're gonna hire. Did you hire it all this round? Nope. So you can only hire once this round. So you're the better one. They're just taking people away. Let's so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to hire as well for 2. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna take it. So you come in exhausted. Okay, round 5 for you. Now that's a 3. You are going to harvest. You already harvested twice. You can't do it again. So you need to roll again. An 8. You would labor. Yep, I already labored and got that one. So haha, so you labored. And then I can't go again, so your final round. 7, you would hire, but you can't. You can only hire once this round. 3, harvest. You've already harvested twice this round. Let's see, what can you do? You can build, explore, and that's it. So build or explore. So I need a 1, 2, or a 5, 6. Nope. There you are. So you would explore. Okay. And that's the end of your turn. So we're getting into the final round here. So you see the game doesn't take that long. The AI is just destroying me. Yeah, I get 1, 2 coins. And then I get 5 to refresh. Refresh tag. And pass the first player token. And I unexhaust these people. I don't have medicine, so you're just exhausted. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna labor that coin. So I've got a total of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. So then your turn, round 1. Roll a 5. You're going to build. So on that turn, we're building a bed that costs 6. Nope. Roll d6. A 5. Roll another d6, refresh, or select a random outpost. So 4. Whether refreshed or not, the AB bot selects a random outpost. So 1 through 4. That gets this guy. Okay. And my turn. Let's dive back into the world of the underground, shall we? Actually. Oh, when I went exploring, I forgot to get my coin when I went exploring last time. So I've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm going to labor with you to get another coin. And then that's going to end my turn. Your turn. 1. What did you build? I rolled a 1, which means you explore. Gotta keep these to match how much they can do. They can only do a set amount of things. So now my turn. I'm going to explore, gaining a coin to explore. Roll a 2. It's going to be 50. Let me make sure I get this right. Make sure this doesn't screw up fight. Do that.
Filled with crystals, but a strange smell fills the air. The longer you remain, the sicker you feel. Do you keep exploring the crystals, or play it safe and venture back?
So that one got cut prematurely because it was like filled with crystals as you reach a cavern filled with crystals. So do we venture back, which is either a 3 or a 5, or do we keep exploring the crystals for a 7? I'm going to venture back. And let's see what we get. It's either going to be a 3 or a 5. So for her, I get 1. For him, I get 3. So I got 3. So I just get a coin for my troubles. They're both exhausted. But I did pass it, so I get the cave. Why haven't I been moving? I haven't been moving that. Let's see. She was hurt. The first thing I did was labor. Then his turn. The second thing I did was this. So this. The third thing I did with this, so you're on turn 3. 1. You are going to explore. This is the last time you could do that. Then my turn, I'm going to build for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Build this card. Spending my money. 4. You are going to harvest. Harvest. Oh, waste of turn. 5. Oh, wait. Is that a waste of turn? That is not a waste of turn. You had a fish. 3. You're going to harvest again. The last time you can harvest to get your other fish. And then final turn. Rolled a 2. Can't explore anymore. So you can't explore, you can't harvest. You can either build, hire, or labor. So you're going to labor. And that's it. Okay. So we've completed out. So let's see how scoring works. All right. So we'll start with the AI so you can see how this works. lots and lots of stuff. Lots and lots of stuff to scoring. So when it comes to scoring, the finale. Here. First thing we do is we count the advancement track. So I'll write on this paper because I can print it out later. I should have laminated this. And so advancement track goes first. So you get 1 point for each fruit on this one. So that's 1, 2. 1 point for each fruit on this one. 3, 4. You get 4 points for that. I get 1, 2, 3 because it says you get 1 point per. So 3. Then we go to building. Each building is worth 1 point. That includes a house, key, star, home, or outpost. So for the AI, 1, got a cave, 2, okay, 3, 4, 5, cave, 6, 7, 8. So you just got 8 points for a total of 12. Mine, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then one outpost 7 for a total of 10. Still kind of close. Then we look at reputation. Well, my reputation, in the solo mode, it says you just automatically get it. You win. So I would get in solo mode the players, if with playing with 2 players, I gain 3 extra points. So it is 1 plus 3, 4. So I'm at 14. So I guess it's like a boost to try to help you beat the AI. Then we do card bonuses. So this is the important. This card's important. I need to explain that one. So you're gonna get out of these 2, you've got 6, right? And you got this one 7, 8. This one says you get 1 victory point, and let me hold it up. You get 1 victory point for every cavern, not every outpost, every cavern. You have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then you just have 3, 9, 10, 11. So that will put you at 23. So it's got 23. Okay? Now let's move this out the way for me. For me, I get 1 for each mushroom. I don't have any. I get 3 to start, plus 1 for each one of these symbols I have. So I have 3 casts, so I get 3 more, that's 6. And I have 3 fish, so I get 3 more, that's 9. That's 9. Then 3 here, 10, 11, 12. Let me put that down, and then we'll get to that card. So right now I'm at 26, which means I beat the AI. But let's keep going. So this card says I get 2 plus 2 for every villager. So make sure I do that right. So that is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Yep, that's what I did. So then I'll get 2 plus 2 for each villager I have. So 1, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So 12 plus 2, 14. Which puts me at 40. So my final score is 40 and the AI is 23. So yay, I won. That's above and below. It's not that much more harder. The one thing I did find that I goofed was when it came to rolling to build, only on round 2 is the above refresh or anything for the outpost. For round 4 and 5, it would have been to either grab a above ground building or an outpost based on the roll. And because I was rolling low, it was an above ground building, so it still didn't matter. But that was the only thing that missed. He would have probably scored less if I was grabbing below ground buildings, because it would have been just these that were coming, so it didn't matter. So in the end, it didn't matter, but just keep that in mind. After round 2, it's either above ground buildings or outposts below. But I got 40. Out of all those things they were grabbing, because if he would have grabbed that would have made me sad. He would have destroyed me with all of these. But because I was able to get this card, I was able to win. So, once again, this is a game, and I want to kind of have you keep this in mind. This is a game that it's really great 2 players or more, best play 3 player, because then, you know, you got all this different stuff going on. But building stuff, hiring people, and keeping the track moved down for extra points. Other than that, the heart of this game is this deck. It's the decisions you get to make to get rep, to get extra resources, to get money, to get special characters. Because I actually got a special cat yesterday when I test played it. I actually had a cat that I got that whenever I wanted the cat to do something, I had to roll a die. If I rolled a below a 3, the cat would just ignore me and just become exhausted, and it's wasted. Like, cats are jerks, right? But if it was a 3+, then the cat would do what I told him to do. So it was really cool to find that that's in here. So many varying stories on here. There are a total of there are a total of 215 different scenarios for you to do in this game. And then this kind of tells you about the creatures that you run into while you're down there. So it kind of says who they are and why they're there. But 215 different things, and you've only seen me do 4. So of those 4, you saw that stuff come up. And this AI track kind of helps you keep track. So for people who are kind of looking, the AI here, like on the first round, it says they can only do they can take 3 turns on the first turn, then 4, then 5, then 6. And then those turns, they can only do these things. Right? So the first turn, they can only do a build, hire, labor. Second turn, they then get to determine, they then get a set of what they can do. And that's it. Then 6th and 7th turn, so it breaks it down. It gives some detailed breakdown of what that stuff means for the build action. And then this is how you keep track of that stuff. So it's a nice thing that you can laminate and just kind of tick off and mark on when you need to, which is what I'm going to do when I play AI again. But that pretty much is above and below. It's not complex at all. The exploration is wonderful. I hear Near and Far adds more to it. I've never played Near and Far, so I don't know. But that is it. This is the beauty of it. It's a really great build out. It's a really great resource management where resources are your people and they can only do certain things. So yeah. All right, let's go up and have a chat. There we go. All right. So that is above and below the solo variant. And this solo variant, once again, this is not by Ryan Lockett. This solo variant was created by, I keep saying his name wrong, so I want to get it right, Scott McCannell, and you can find it on Board Game Geek. Meeple Marathon did a variant to this variant to add a little bit more thematic depth to it. So you can get that from Meeple Marathon's site to where it becomes a little bit more thematic, and then it makes more sense. Because like Cybermage was saying, well, they could just keep pulling cards and pulling cards. Meeple Marathon changed that up a little bit, so it makes the AI feel like a player and not just a thing that's yanking cards away from you. Outside of that, the game is beautiful. It's well drawn. It's fast to play, as you saw. It took us, let's see, we started at about 9-ish. So, yeah, we're getting on about 90 minutes. So I think it matches. And that's with explanation. So I think that matches. I think it's a fun game. It's one of those games that you bring to the table, you play it, you enjoy it, you have some good laughs, and people who are just getting into this is a great game for people who are getting into the hobby. If you have a group of friends who've never played a board game or are interested in playing them, this is a good game to give them. It's easy to learn, it's easy to go through. The things that I don't like about it, I think having to have a bolted on solo mode probably didn't do it enough justice, but it's a pretty solid game. Is it something that I would get to the table often? I think within the past week, I've played it 4 times, and I've enjoyed it all 4 times I play it. But outside of the exploration piece of it, you saw it kind of dredge at the beginning, right? Because I wasn't doing exploration like crazy, but as soon as I started exploring, it was fun. So I wish there was more to the market than just buy and buy and buy. Like, if there was some form of story going along with the thing that you purchase, or some hurdle you have to overcome, to like build that into the build function of it, that probably would have been better. That the exploration is the heart of it, but you don't want to do that too early on because your chances of success are lower since you start with someone who did I start with? Since I start with people who won't be very successful early on, exploring right away is not a good idea. People who probably roll dice better than me can make it happen. Yeah, graphically is really gorgeous, and I love the way you build out your town. I do feel there needs to be a bit more meat to it, but I'm not fond of games that are just all about best score. Yeah, it's a best score game at the heart of it. It's a best score with a story in exploring. But I wish there was more, right? I don't mind the best score aspect of it. I think you didn't see the meat of the game until I started exploring. And I think that's where it got kind of right? Because until then it was buy. I can't do anything. Labor, buy, labor. And then finally, okay, I have enough people. I can explore. So I explore. Yeah. If there was something more to the building, something more to the market, that would really help. I think that would help the game a lot. Now, maybe now near or far, it's near or far than now or never. So maybe near or far adds to that to refine this a little bit more to make it to add more to the game, because people love Above and Below. There's people that I've chatted with that love it, and then and they really love Near and Far. So it must add something to the game. And then Now or Never is the next one that's coming out that I don't know what that does. So I may look into Near and Far at some point, but yeah, this is Above and Below. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining. If I made any mistakes, pointed out. Like I said, I already pointed out the mistake about not selecting outposts and buildings, but with the rolls I was having, it was not any outposts that I was picking, so it was fine. But if I made any other mistakes, put it in the description below and let me know. Coming up this week, this is the month of horror. Foreteller and I are friends because I love their product so much, and they were awesome enough to send me a copy of this and ask me to put it on the channel. And I said, hell yeah, because it has Foreteller on it. So I did it, and they were awesome for doing so. Thank you so much. But I played this, and prior to going on vacation, I played Mansions of Madness. But now we're in the full swing of the month of horror. So Tuesday is going to be, what am I playing on Tuesday? I set up like a whole thing of it. Tuesday is the Night Cage. I'll be playing the Night Cage. Thursday is going to be the rotation begins between Kingdom Death Monster and Arkham Horror between Pac-Man, Steven, and I to play that. And then Sunday is going to be Mansions of Madness. So we're going to be doing horror theme this entire month and 3 streams a week, and we will see how you like how that plays. But thank you so much to Cybermate for becoming a Patreon. Be sure to join the Discord. Thank you so much to all my other Patreons. I appreciate you so much. Thank you to my YouTube subscribers. I appreciate you as well. And yeah, that's all I got. So enjoy your Sunday morning, afternoon, or evening. And I hope you enjoy what you saw. So see you Tuesday for the Night Cage. And that game I really love. So we'll see how that goes. All right, everybody. Have a good day. Yeah. And I will see you on Tuesday. Thanks so much, everybody. Insert comment here. Bye bye.